Hey everybody, how's it going out there? I just wanted to get on real quick. I was sitting here thinking about things since I did the reading yesterday. Sorry for the noise. I've got my fans going for my dogs and I'm currently waiting on my starter to cool down. For those that don't know, my starter's been overheating and I have to let my van set for like an hour to 2 hours to let it cool back down before I can run it again. So right now we're sitting in a parking lot in front of a grocery outlet Dollar Tree combination. Everybody's been pretty cool about it. It happened to me yesterday at the tea house that I went to, and they're like, no problem. I think more and more people are getting used to van lifers because I'm not shy about it. I tell people I'm van lifing. But I did a reading yesterday. I had a friend reach out to me, and she's like, I need some advice. I need to know which way to go. And I just picked up on her energy that things just weren't going the way she thought they were supposed to go in her life. And I think all of us that are on the spiritual path are going through something like that. And what came through in the message, I got that light right in my eyes. Hey, there's my baby. It's Louie. Say hi, Louie. And Liddy. Say hi, Liddy. Yeah, there's my babies. They're with me wherever I go, and I love it. It's part of why I love this life so much is I get to take them wherever I go. And we have so many adventures together. But anyway, um, I've had some stressful things going on. I had a blow to my finances that I wasn't expecting, and it's a temporary thing, hopefully. I've already done what I need to do to appeal things and get things back on track, but it's a waiting process. So I'm currently living off my little 20-hour a week job, and luckily for me, I know how to budget. I know how to go buy cheap groceries. I know, I stretch my gas out and I can budget everything. I only get paid twice a month too, so that makes it a little harder. But anyway, I've got enough to cover things and to function. But then something like this happens with my van with the starter, and I need a power steering pump too. My power steering pump's leaking really bad and making a noise. It's still working at this point, so it's not the priority. The starter is, but I got a knock on my van when I was in a different town. I stay there every once in a while when I have doctor's appointments and stuff. And that day I stayed later than I normally do because I woke up with the most god awful headache and I just couldn't function. Normally I was out of there by the time the cop came and knocked on my door. But we ended up having a really good conversation and I let him know, I'm like, yes, I do choose to do this, but things are getting so crazy expensive out there. More and more people are having to do this. And he agreed with me. He's like, just know what our laws are. You're only allowed to park at night to sleep in your van from 9 in the night to 7:30 in the morning. And by then you need to move. And I'm like, he's like, but honestly, if you're out by 9:30, you're okay. And I was like, normally I am. And he ended up connecting me. He's like, if you're interested, I've got a resource that I can connect you with that helps people that are doing what you're doing or that are homeless or whatever. He's like, it's nothing to be too proud to accept help. And I said, trust me, I'm not. So he connected me with this guy. And I honestly thought it was going to be like a shelter or something, and I'm not interested in that. I got my dogs. Plus, I don't like being around a lot of people, negative energies. I'm very protective of my energy, and I've done a lot of inner work, and I just don't want to be around anything toxic. But it ended up being this really cool younger guy who works for, it's like a community outreach, but they actually do really good things. And he's like, what do you need? And I said, honestly, my van is old and things are starting to go wrong on it and nothing major, but it's little things, but it adds up to things that I don't have to cover right now. He said, well, what does it need? And I told him and he said, well, he gave me some numbers. He wrote them down. He said, call and get some quotes, get it separate and then get it together and let me see what I can do. And so he couldn't afford to do the both of them together. He let me know that. He's like, but I can definitely get your starter fixed for you. And that was just like great. So I called the first number I called that gave me the best quote, and he's like, I can get you in tomorrow at 1:30. So I texted the guy, and he's like, well, just let me know, when you're there and how long it's going to take, and I'll come by and I'll pay for it. And I'm just like blown away because even though things are a little crazy in my life right now, it's still working out to my greater good. And I know that I'm like, why am I still here? I'm supposed to be somewhere else by now. And I feel like I'm like stuck in a loop and I can't get out of it because I've got to work to be able to survive. I got to get my van fixed before I can take it very far. It's like steps, but it's starting to warm up here in Portland. So I'm starting to worry about my dogs getting too hot. I've got a fan as you can see, I've got a fan here in the back window, and it pulls air in or out. I couldn't put a max fan air in the van when I first got it. I wanted to do that because I had the money then from the wreck to do that. But it's got this lighting system that runs across the roof, and the guy that was going to install it's like, I don't want to mess the wires up. So I ended up going this route instead, and then it runs off my power system. And since he added the solar, you can hear that kicking on right now, it's running perfect. Like, I don't run out of power now, and I'm so blessed and so grateful that I got, I had the resources to get that done. But I just want you guys to know that even though it feels like things are crazy right now, it feels like you don't have enough or you're not where you're supposed to be, just know you're actually being protected right now, and things are working out behind the scenes. And this was just another affirmation to me, because I was like, how am I going to get this starter fixed? I know I've got to do it. I'm also getting ready to have to put new tires on the back of my van, because the guy that I bought it from put new tires on the front, but not the back. The tires on the front are still great, but the back ones are starting to, they're going to need replacing soon. But I actually found a little family-owned tire shop that sells decent tires. He's like, I'll make sure they're good tires, and I'm going to get both my back tires for $160, which is crazy cheap, installed and everything. So it's just steps. I'm still here because there's still things I've got to do to my van. And also, where you're at, you don't know who you're running across and who you're talking to, that you're actually planting little seeds. And there's still people that you're supposed to connect with where you're at. I just had another great conversation. I had a massage today, and it was my first time with a therapist that I saw. We ended up having a great conversation about the communities and all the things that I want, my life goals and what, and she was like blown away. She's like, Shell, that's so amazing. That's what we need now, And so I know I planted seeds in her mind, and getting her to think on a different trajectory. She didn't really even look up at the skies and know about chemtrails. She's like, noticed it was different, but I didn't know what they were doing. I was like, it's so funny. Used to, people were like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. And now when I share things, people are actually commenting back, oh my gosh, I know, and how they feel when this stuff's going on and different things. More and more people are waking up. So wherever you're at on your timeline, you're right where you're supposed to be right now. Even if it seems crazy, even if you don't understand it, even if there's times I'm like, God, please just get me out of this city. Because I'm freaking in Portland, y'all. And there's some great, amazing people in Portland, and I love parts of Portland. I love Portland so much. But there's some really bad energies here too. There are people that are addicted to drugs, and they congregate, and there are people that throw trash down, and y'all been seeing my posts about that. There's all this energy here, and that's why I wear these headphones all the time, so I can tune out the energies, and I stay in my own little world. I'm always listening to something spiritual or something to help me mentally grow. I'm not listening to music when I'm wearing these. I'm always listening to something to expand my mind, make me think about things, things like that. So, and then we go to the parks every day. I get out in nature as much as possible. Even though I'm in the city, I get in the woods and get in nature, and it is what's keeping me sane right now. But the heat is coming, so I'm ready to go to the coast. Oh, and that's another thing I didn't get to tell y'all. So the job that I worked last summer wants me to come back, but I was thinking about it, and there's this neat little place that I really loved, and I went there all the time last summer, and I just thought, well, I'll send them a text and see what happens, or send them an email. And she just emailed me back today. She wants to talk to me. So I may be going to the coast sooner than what I thought. And it might be in a even better environment for me. So either way, it's going to work out to my greater good. And I have to have that faith and allow things to happen. And you guys that have followed me for the longest time have seen me do some crazy stuff. And it always ends up working out in my favor. But it's because I trust Spirit to guide me. And I know no matter what, no matter how crazy it seems, it will end up working out to my greater good, and I will learn and grow from it and learn the lesson. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't learn the lesson, you keep repeating the cycles. So if you keep getting stuck in the same loop, really evaluate that. Why are you getting stuck in that loop? Why are you repeating that same thing over again? And it may even be a different person you're repeating the exact same pattern with. It's a pattern. It's a loop. And it is literally a generational curse that you're meant to break. So wake up to it and start making changes. I'm making changes again. I had let some things creep back in my diet that I knew they weren't technically bad for the normal person. It would have been a blip. They wouldn't even have noticed it. But for me, I have chronic inflammation and things from autoimmune, from living in black mold. I got chronic inflammatory response syndrome from that. And I've done a lot of healing and a lot of work to clean that out of my system. But I still have issues, especially if I don't keep my diet ultra clean. And so I can't eat wheat at all. And I have to very, very, very limit sugar. If I do sugar, it has to be raw honey. And I can do some organic cane sugar, but like we're talking 5 grams or less a day. If I do more than that, my inflammation goes crazy. And so I'd let more chocolate. Chocolate causes me to have ocular migraines, and I'd let some more sugar creep in, and I'd start eating a little wheat here and a little wheat there because I love Asian food, and I love the little fried spring rolls. It's another thing I don't eat is fried food. Fried food causes inflammation. So I'm cleaning everything out. Today I did an intermittent fast till like 3 o'clock, and then I made some of my wraps out of chickpea flour, flaxseed, flour, and I put in nettle, uh, dried stinging nettle and cilantro and, one other herb. Oh, sage, because all those herbs are cleansing, and they build your immune system. There's so many good things for those 3 herbs. You need to look them up. Stinging nettles, sage, and cilantro, and also cilantro pulls metals out of your body. So anyway, I made me some wraps with those and just ate the wraps themselves. And I know there's nothing bad in those at all, and it filled me up. And I've done water. I'm back on all my water. I was doing a lot of green tea, and I wasn't drinking any water. It was just all green tea. And even though green tea is good for you, if that's all you drink, it will still dehydrate you over time with the caffeine. So you need to do it in moderation. Everything's in moderation, but I'm like, I'm just going to go back to water. And then I add some mineral salt to the water. And I just picked up some, trying to think it's minerals basically. It's got iodine and copper and all those things in it. And it wasn't actually that bad expensive. It was like $6.99 for a 3-month supply. So it's really, some of these things are cheap, but your body needs minerals and stuff to run. And so if you're fasting or if you're not eating a healthy diet, you've got to really supplement things. And I'm not saying go out and get on a bunch of supplements because you can overdo that too. And it's not the supplement itself that's bad. It's the casings and things that they add to the supplements, any kind of fillers, things like that. So, do your research. Always do your research, and then test your own body and see how you feel. And I know when I eat a lot of sugar or if I eat a lot of wheat, I start hurting a lot. I can't move as well, and I gain weight. And I'm fighting menopause now too. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing right now to research that, to change my diet. That's another reason I'm changing the foods that I eat. I'm looking at what balances hormones, what's good for me, what's not good for the hormones. Fried foods are terrible for your hormones. Anything in plastic is bad because there's hormone disruptors in it. Even like your deodorants and stuff, you've got to be so diligent. They put aluminum in deodorants, and aluminum is directly linked to Alzheimer's. There's no reason for that. So if you're going to buy anything from the store that's not natural, like going to a health food store, or, guys, you can use lime juice for a deodorant. And after you use it, you'll get to where you don't have to use it but maybe once every 2 weeks. It's just harder for me to keep up with that in the van. I'm not gonna lie, because I've got a cooler and everything, but I keep other things in that. It's too much of a hassle. So what I do is it's Arm & Hammer Essentials. They don't put anything in it. No aluminum, no parabens, none of that junk. And that is the only one that is not like Tom's or one of the other guys that are more expensive that I have seen that doesn't have all the crap in it. So if you're gonna do it, just be vigilant. Look at every freaking label. When you do body washes, they put sodium lauryl sulfate in it, which is directly linked to skin cancer. And if you look at the body washes and shampoos at like Walmart or wherever, every single one of them has it in it, and they know what it does. So the corporations don't care about you. They just want to make money. And so you have to be your own judge. You have to do your own research, and you got to be vigilant. That's why so many people have cancer and all these things going on, because they just have all these things in their environment and they don't even realize it, But anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I just wanted to share with you guys. I was sitting here waiting on my van to cool down, and I was thinking, why is this happening? But even though it's happening, it's going to be fixed tomorrow. And it's Spirit showing me, hey, I still got your back. You didn't know that there was going to be a way, and now a way's being made. So chill out, If you guys are like me, you're so headstrong and you want things your way, you want it now, and you want to, your type A personality, and you're used to being the one that has to get things done, but those times are changing. It's your time to rest. It's your time to be appreciated and loved, and all that's getting ready to come back to you. And if you go back and watch the readings I did yesterday, it all comes out in the reading about people that have mistreated you in your past and didn't appreciate you, and all the things that they did to you, all that karma is coming around to them, and they have got to literally be, their access is going to be denied to you, and Spirit's taking care of all of that. And then once all that's taken care of, your blessings are just going to roll in. If they came in right now, if all of it came what's coming for you, these people would latch on to you and they would try to manipulate you and use you again. And even though you've grown and you're strong, you still have that good heart. You still want to help people, and they would pull on those heartstrings of yours. Spirit knows that. And Spirit gave them their chance, you know. One of those people in particular, I heard a reading today and it just so resonated. One of those people in particular, they were allowed in your life. You were so spiritually protected, but this person got through more than anybody else. But it's because Spirit gave them a chance, because they were so lonely and they were so heartbroken, and they literally begged for someone like you. And then Spirit gave it to them and they squandered it. It scared the hell out of them. And so they ran, or they played games, and they did all these stupid things that they now regret. Now they want you back. Now they wish they hadn't have done it. But they never even really knew who you were until you were gone. And they still don't fully know who you are. They know what they see. They know what they read. They know what they hear. But they really can't handle you. And they know that deep down. But they want you back so bad because all the good stuff's gone now out of their life. The light is gone. And they know it. They know what they did. And they have to live with that for the rest of their life. That's part of their karma. So just know everything is being taken care of. You are in Spirit's hands. I don't say God much anymore because that name has been so misused and so misrepresented. But your higher power, whatever you subscribe to, has got your back. And it's all going to be okay. All right. You guys have a great rest of your night. I'm going to get out of here and chill with my little doggies for the next hour or so until this fan cools down. Love y'all. Namaste.